going to be a fun interview. We're going to delve like all through her catalog. Y'all get y'all pens ready because this is going to be the opportunity for her. Oh, look, she's here already. Yay! Let me bring her up. Let me bring her up. I have my introduction ready and I'm ready to go. Again, y'all, we're about to have a conversation with author Christina C. Jones. And here she
Hey,
and here she is, as beautiful as ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you again.
thank you.
Thank you. Let me see if I'm gonna try to get my camera back just a little bit. Oh, um, happy Tuesday again. I'm your good girlfriends unfiltered. This is author Christina C. Jones, and I just am ready to jump right in and have a conversation. If y'all have questions, you can drop them in that circle with the question mark, and we just gonna flow. Feel free. We're going to try to get to all of the questions if we're able to, but if not, that's okay. We'll hopefully we'll address whatever you may have. If you need to leave, feel free to leave and come back. This interview also is going to be posted over on Girlfriends Unfiltered Interviews on YouTube. And so you can also check it out and watch it over there as well. Um, you ready for your introduction?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. So today we have with us best-selling author Christina C. Jones. She is a leader in the Black romance genre, crafting all varieties of Black love stories, beautifully putting Black love on pages. Um, she has crafted romantic thrillers, suspense, mysteries, fantasy, soft love, dark love, all allowing readers to immerse in all of the entertainment that comes with it. She is an author that has shown mastery at all of her self-publishing skills. She is a content creator and a mentor to many authors. I have interviewed so many authors, and they always say, I've learned Christina C. Jones, or I've gone and watched her YouTube videos. Christina C. Jones. I hear it so much, and so that's beautiful. She is a genius at marketing and crafting queens. The women in her books are like beyond super duper dope. And she creates her own covers, right? You was creating them, you still creating those
Yes,
covers?
yes,
Yes. Um, Now she and I had a pre-conversation. I said she has well over 100 books, and I'm going to keep it there. She's like, no, no, yes. And the audibles, I know back a few years ago, it was like 30, so she probably has way more audibles now.
yeah.
Um, Y'all, I am so excited to introduce and be having a conversation again with author Christina C. Jones.
So I need you to send me that because I need to like print that out and put that like on like on my mirror
I will send it to you. And I
so
left
I
off
can
a little
read
piece.
that.
I left off a little piece. I'm going to put that in there. So she took it does say she took a unexpected break, but when
Yes,
she came back with more love and more power. I had left that part out.
yeah. Send me that. That made
So
me sound real good, and I need to read that every morning.
listen. All it is doing is just showing a true reflection of what we experience on this side. And I think that's the
I
importance
appreciate
of,
that.
yeah, that's the importance of these interviews because we just see the beautiful characters that we create. And sometimes it's hard to imagine all of the work behind it. And
Hmm.
it's truly appreciated because I know it's got to be a lot of work. I mean, we see you building a house, raising a baby, plus your
Yeah,
girls, you on the
yeah.
road, you're doing some amazing things. So
I
again,
man,
yes,
yeah. Send
yes,
me
yes. Okay. So let me jump right into these questions. Because I could just keep going on and on and on because you know how highly I think of and I totally respect you. And it just is what it is. Nothing we can do about that. Um I the first question I always ask, so of course I have to go back and obviously I'm going to ask you this question is when did you fall in love with Black romance?
I think that hmm, I feel like I would have answered this a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a few years ago. I think that I really fell in love with it through seeing it through. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it. Like, of course, I loved it as a reader, like for my, for my entertainment and for my
Uh-huh.
own like endearment. But I think that my relationship with the genre has changed and developed, and I think that seeing it through other readers' eyes, through my lens as an author, has given me kind of a different sort of appreciation of it,
Mm-hmm.
because I think you have black romance and then you have this concept of black love that has been I don't want to say controversial, but I do feel like sometimes you get into like, the terms like struggle love and,
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 and all of that kind of more real life negativity that kind of gets put on it. But
Uh-huh.
I feel like when you have something like black romance, you have like the best of black love
Yes.
presented to you, and you're able to like immerse yourself in it in a different way. And so I would say that it was as an author that I have been able to kind of see it a little differently, where it wasn't just, I say just like, and there's not that there's anything wrong with, being entertained by it and
Mm-hmm.
feeling seen and, all of that. But it's it's a different relationship to it now, and like a deeper relationship. I would almost compare it to like when you first get married, it's like, sometimes there's like a honeymoon phase and everything is
Mm-hmm.
real cute and, but then through as the years go on, you have like a different appreciation for that person. And it's not like the shallow
You
stuff
got to put
anymore.
in the
It's like
work.
the right. And it's like that real. And I feel like that's kind of the relationship that I'm in with it now.
Yeah. So when I first started reading, I'm very transparent. Y'all know this. So I really didn't understand romance until I
Hmm.
started reading black romance books. Um, how when you if you were to meet a new reader or a new person or just in
Hmm.
conversation, how would you describe romance to them? Because a lot of us are curating our love
Hmm.
relationships from the stories that you're writing.
Hmm.
So how would you, if you can put romance, what would it feel like? What would you say?
So, is this in specific to like a reader, like specifically romance as a genre or as a concept?
Just the concept, because what I feel is like you when you're writing, you're giving us the concept of
Hmm.
romance,
Hmm.
not just the experience. So when I get finished reading a CCJ book, I feel like I went through all of the ups and downs. I can feel it, I can like hear it, I can like
Hmm.
smell it, and then I'm out searching for it. So
So, I think I get you. It's tough. That's a really tough question, which is why I always love talking to you because I would say that my focus would be around intimacy, but not
mhm,
intimacy in the sense of like sex,
mhm,
intimacy in the sense of kind of that depth of knowledge of the other person and
mhm.
how that knowledge of them, how that can kind of guide and teach you how to interact with that person.
Yes.
And then on the receiving end of that, how someone else's knowledge of you can help you like understand yourself and learn more about yourself. For good and bad. Well, I say for good and bad, and that's what I mean is that sometimes it's more difficult Like sometimes you might see some things about yourself that you don't really want
Hmm.
to accept or really want to see,
Hmm.
but things that are probably helping you like develop kind of as a person, and you're, as you guys are going through that romance, through this romance,
Uh-huh.
um, it's almost like it's, yes, the discovery of another person, but it's also a self-discovery as
Hmm.
well. And just kind of navigating that, and how beautiful it is to navigate something. And beautiful and like enlightening. And I think that you have to have a certain curiosity to
Hmm.
be a good partner in a relationship, right? It's like curiosity about other people, curiosity about yourself,
Hmm.
like this desire to, kind of see how you can make things better for
Hmm.
someone else, and like seeing kind of what inputs get certain outputs. And I feel like
I
I'm like way
No, you're
off.
not, because I'm sitting here like I'm sitting here processing this because I'm thinking, sitting at a takeaway at brunch, having this conversation with my grown girlfriends, right?
Hmm.
And when we have this conversation about love and we have sex, and somehow we miss what romance is. And so
Hmm.
I'm at the table trying to explain it to them, and all I could think to do is recommend a book.
No, I think that I actually think that that's phenomenal. Like I've had people, talk to me about, about not just my work, but other works, and
Mhm.
tell me about how there have been situations, in books that help them see it from the other person's
Yes.
perspective, and help them kind of understand how to kind of navigate something, and has opened their eyes to all of these different things that you're not even necessarily expecting when you go into a romance novel. And those are some of like my favorite conversations to have, because often
Yes.
I feel like those things get kind of overshadowed by,
Mhm.
the spice, or,
Yeah,
whatever
because
else.
I always say, this is my space when I fell in love with Black romance.
Hmm.
And it's how you are creating these particular love stories. So, and I'm thinking about youth, thinking about young people,
Hmm.
thinking about 18-year-olds who really don't know or really
Right.
haven't seen it. When you're writing stories, do you think about that? Like, I'm writing this for the person who maybe has never experienced romance.
Not necessarily.
Uh,
When I'm writing, I really actively try to tune the audience out, with
okay.
certain exceptions. Like if I'm writing something like maybe a character that has like some type of chronic illness, or some
Uh-huh.
type of disability or something like that, that that person, like that would fall kind of into that category. That
Mhm.
person is very high, like that person is present in my mind, because I want to, like, I have a conscience of making sure that they're well represented, making sure that I'm not being offensive, making sure that, if someone who would relate to this reads this, they're not like, now, what the hell, like, what is this?
Right.
You
So,
know, or thinking about, I'm very careful with consent in my books, because I know that I do have, younger women reading, and not even, honestly, not even just younger women, just
it's
women in
all
general. But yeah, who is like, you need to see
what consent
what it
looks
looks
like.
like. Yeah, like
And
you need
and
to
you're
see what it
so
looks
good
like to
about
be
putting that in.
enthusiastic about it, and to have
Yes.
him want that enthusiastic, you know, consent, and making sure that he has that, and so those type of things, yes, I am thinking about it. But like I said, I often try to tune the potential reader out, because I don't want to get caught up in like trying to tweak this and tweak
To
that
fit
for the
the
sake.
what the right.
Right.
Do you think that research that a person can research romance?
I do. I
Uh-huh.
do. I to a degree. to a degree.
Okay.
Like I do think that you can, but there are certain things that I think that you need to have some level of experience, and not even necessarily like I've never gotten bitten by a vampire, right? And so I don't think, but like there's certain things that you just have to kind of research and play and
Mhm.
guess. But I think that there are times when you have to kind of draw on your real world experience with
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe heartbreak or,
Mhm.
betrayal or,
Mhm.
the loss of a friendship, when you
Mhm.
when you messed up,
Yeah.
sometimes to be able to connect with that emotion enough to try to put it down on a page and convey it. Now, do
Mhm.
I think that it's impossible, for someone who maybe has never been in a romantic relationship
Mhm.
or, has never experienced certain things? No, I don't think it's impossible because I believe that some people are just uniquely gifted, and
Right.
they just have a way with the words. But
Mhm.
I do think that there are times where, my life experience has allowed me to really like tap into how a character
Mhm.
might be feeling so
Mhm.
that as I'm, pouring whatever out onto the page, I'm able to kind of course correct myself like, is that quite the right note, or is that quite, like something about that reaction feels a little off. Like let me, let me
Figure it
kind
out.
of think about it a little more. Yeah.
How do you feel when readers say that, come up to you and say that? Like, because I know you've heard this before, so maybe I should just say, have you heard this? When readers say things like, I'm with my husband because of you, or reading your books
hmm
helped me save my marriage, or how does that feel to know that the words that you're writing are that powerful?
It is a double-edged sword. Like on one hand, it's like, okay, like yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But on the other hand, it it's a heavy weight. It's a really, really heavy weight because for as many people that that's the experience, it's like you also kind of think about the times where, man, what if she dropped, a man who was really, maybe a good man, and she read this book, and the heroine was like, no nonsense, like deuces over any little thing, and maybe you
Uh-huh.
influence something. But that's
Listen,
that's like kind of
case
worst case scenario.
scenario, right?
you know but I do have people, talk to me about how my books have impacted them, and kind of gotten them through things. And is it's an honor. Like it's an honor to
Yeah.
have been able to be a part of someone's life in that way. And not just that, for them to seek you out to also tell you, it's like
Yes.
those are the type of things that really kind of give you fuel and make you feel like okay, like what I'm doing, like okay,
It's a big thing.
we doing something here. Yeah.
And also, I hate to put so much on your shoulders with this question here. But okay, so I want to reflect back on an article that I read that you wrote on Black romance.
hmm
That article has lived in my brain for a long time. I don't know if there's a way where you can like get it to people again because there's such a new community of readers.
hmm
And that article, what that came out in 2023, I think like mid 20.
Was it in the Black Love Matters anthology?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
this on my shelf right there.
Yes, that was just beautiful. And so when I remember sitting having a conversation with Dr. Rhodes about this book, and I remember her telling her about you, and I said to her, she has taken on the role as a leader in this Black romance community. Um, how does that feel to know that you are labeled to be a leader in the foundation of this Black romance boom that seemed to happen what
Yeah.
maybe 4 or 5 years ago when it really took off? How does that feel, and is it a lot for you?
I think so. Transparently, I don't actually get a lot of that.
Hmm.
I have people who, who who see me in that way and who make sure that I know, that they see me in that way, and I appreciate it so much.
Uh-huh.
Um, I see lots of conversations about Black romance and its popularity and all of that happen, and I'm often excluded from those conversations. I'm often not mentioned
Uh-huh.
in those
Really?
conversations.
Really? Hmm.
And it is it hurts my feelings. Just
Really?
honestly,
And
like
you know
it
what?
hurts my feelings a bit.
I can never imagine you being excluded from it because of the work that
Yeah.
you've done within the community. So I'm gonna say hold on to the work that you've done and the
Yes.
people like you didn't like I would say that you didn't know that I was sitting at those tables talking about you. So you it's a
Yes.
lot of people sitting it's the people that maybe you see on social media in here, but there's a lot of people
Yeah.
and the interviews that I have done over and over and over again, they say your name.
Sorry,
And
he
that's the important part is it's about having people speak your name. And
Yes.
it's just important and I don't have a problem saying it because I know what brought me into this space and the amount of work that you've done is appreciated.
And
So
again, I appreciate hearing it, and I definitely appreciate it when, I have people like you, people like
yeah,
you
and
and
I'm
others
reading people are saying
who,
the same things that you're in my
yeah,
conversations because I
yeah,
think it's so important to pay homage to people who put in the work to build such a beautiful space. And I know there's chaos all around, but just like with anything, you have to know the foundation. And so
yes.
I'm going to move over to another conversation about the foundation. Okay.
Hmm.
So I've been doing kind of this thing lately where I feel it's very important to go back and reintroduce new readers to your work, to
Yeah.
Belvin's work, to Nicole, because Nicole, and I can go on and on and on, because I think it's so important that you're able to have like a comparison of what the work looks like. Um, how do you feel about that when it comes to reintroducing? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of the book. Like I have like a stack here, but reintroducing some of your new work. It's like something really funny. What would be a real funny, fun book that you would reintroduce?
I always like when people ask, I'm so sorry, he is
No, 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 no. Hey, it's understandable.
When I hear funny, I always go to I think I might love you. I always go to Jacqueline Love and her, and her and Kaden and her serving him that ice cream and the
Yes.
cat and just all of those different little moments for them. And I love writing funny, but I feel like I can't channel it often enough. I'm writing funny right now, and it has been like it has really been cathartic almost, to be able to kind of go back to that. But yeah, absolutely. I think I might love you, like
Yes.
hands down.
Yes, definitely. That was funny. That is just so funny. So y'all take your notes. We're about to zoom through her catalog. And so we're just gonna talk about some of the things that some of the books that have been written and that's really important. Um recently I had to get my mammogram. And I remember so I reached out to Shar and I said to her, I was like, maybe I need to show it so that people know how important it is. And I need a
Yes.
book to connect it to. And she said, well, I know Christina C. Jones has a book. What book do you have that's connected to that, to particularly to breast cancer? Because I think it's really
Yes.
important what happened to Ananda and us as a community really dealing
Yes.
with grieving that loss. What book would you recommend to us?
I would definitely go Inevitable Seductions, Miss Nubia Perry, who
Yes.
is present through so many of my projects. She is
Yes.
a constant voice. And so yeah, I would definitely say if I can get my words out, Inevitable Seductions. Go ask your sisters. I think they'll give you some.
I'm writing it down so I can repeat it. Inevitable Seduction, and that was on Audible. I did that one. I don't have that one because I was looking. I was like, I know I have all of CCJ's books, but you know what? It's because I've done so many of them in Audible that I have. I don't have that one, but yes, Nubia, definitely. Um, a book that you have that addresses I always talk about social commentary, how
Yes.
authors are able to take things that are going on and take it and put it into a book so that we can really like have the experience. What book would that be?
Ooh, my first thought is relationship goals
Hmm.
because the heroine Noah, she kind of gets canceled a bit online. Um, but I think hers is not quite as specific as Bianca Bailey in The Trouble with Us,
What you with
Bianca and
us?
Rashad. She goes through a whole like online canceling thing, and it's kind of like very, very kind of at the beginning of the internet. She was one of the
Mhm.
first influencers I ever wrote, but she has her whole thing with her ex and just like the whole like kind of online controversy and
Uh-huh.
stuff with that. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. I'm trying to think of a
Let me
more
tell you what
recent
book
one
I'm
because
thinking of because it really addressed a social issue that is impacting us now more than ever. Is Anti Up with Sex Trafficking.
yes, yes, and that right around the time I was writing Anti Up, and I cannot remember the young lady's name, but it was all over the news. She had shot her stepfather um,
Mm. Wow.
because he was violating her. I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to I forgot a baby.
Yeah, like
He repeats everything he
uh-huh.
hears now, but yeah. So Anti Up is definitely a good one.
Yeah. That one definitely pops in my head. I did it again. I did it again recently because I really wanted to get it back on social media again and show it to, so everybody can like get a taste of it so they can really understand like how, just such a good job you did with how you wrote that and how you took something that was is so ugly and affecting our community
Yeah.
and made a love story out of it. Not just one, but two.
Yeah, because then Deuces tackles it some as well, like kind of that same topic, like kind of,
Mhm.
and that gives me an idea for something that Asha and Alicia should do, like some type of foundation or something like that.
Yes! Look, we ready for it. We are
You just
so
made me
ready
think
for
of
it.
that. Yeah,
Ante Up, I want to say so. When I first got introduced to, I was reading everything, and then my sister obviously introduced me to you and Wesley and Jacoby. And I was like more like into just I want to read romance. So she was like,
yeah,
read Jacinta Howard's the prototype
yes,
series. Jump right
yes,
into that.
absolutely.
Then she was like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you to read this book. It's Annie Up. It's gonna be a little bit, but give it a right. That was the first book I ever read like that. It it
Shout out
it
to her.
it literally lives in my head. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's so, and at the time I was working with transition age youth, which is from 16 to 21, and it was just
kind
so
of coming
relevant.
out of foster care.
Coming out of foster
Yeah,
care. It was just a beautiful. You did a great job there. Okay, so
I appreciate that.
all right, so we talked about social commentary. Did you do anything centered around Black Lives Matter or anything like that? Have you done any
I
books
did
centered
not.
around that? Okay.
I did not. Because it is so angering.
Okay. Well, not any, I should say more like police around police misconduct. or
No,
beyond?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, okay,
That's what I took. That's what I understood.
okay.
That's what I understood you to be referring to. And I just remember like around the time of like Trayvon Martin and all of that. Like I remember being like super vocal, online and
Right.
stuff about it. And it was just so disappointing how much the people who needed to care didn't care.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like it was very enlightening to me. Or let me rephrase that. The people who needed to care
Uh-huh.
cared, but the people who we also needed to care
Didn't.
just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like just kind of screaming into the void. And I have not, like after I learned that lesson back then, I have not, I like online, I
Baby,
don't interact with,
let me ask you, do you
yeah.
think when things like that happen that you give us the Truth book series? And somewhere I can't, it moved before I could read it. I was trying to read what someone wrote. But do you think that's when you really need to
Yes.
give us more sweet love when we're caught in societal chaos?
I think a little bit, because I know like around COVID, like that was around when I wrote like the Clarks and well no Clarks was that COVID? That time was a blur. That
And
time
you
was
was
really a
pushing them
blur.
out though. You was like, bam,
Yeah,
bam.
yeah. Yeah. And to answer Coco, it's in the lies. It's Brandy and Kyle because like in the very, very beginning of the lies, like you're right, like there is like that small mention. I won't go into spoilers, but yes, you're right. I know
Okay,
exactly.
so y'all, if y'all interested in that, we're gonna do the Truth book series.
Yes. Yeah, but and it's book two of that series. But and they can be
You
read as standalones.
you have a character that has is it impetigo? Not impetigo. Vit-
Vitiligo.
vitiligo, and
Yes.
that was obviously a huge around that time acceptance where people needed to learn to be kinder,
Yes.
and you really delved into it. Can you talk about that book?
Oh, Brittany and Raph. I was just talking to somebody about this at house party because she told me that that was one of her favorite things that I ever wrote, and it blew my mind because I feel like In Tandem does not. I feel like that is one of the most underrated books in my catalog.
In
And I
tandem.
feel like yes, that's In Tandem.
Okay.
And I feel like I know exactly why because the hero is insecure. The hero is insecure and he's young. They're both young. They're both like early to mid 20s,
Uh-huh.
which is not my typical, kind of age range because I
Right.
definitely feel like as I've grown older, my characters kind of trend older as well. But yeah, that was a big part of their story. Or I don't think her skin condition, because it's an autoimmune disorder.
Hmm.
I don't think that that was necessarily part of the story. I think it's more kind of her acceptance and her, confidence and all of that because she's a beautiful girl. Like
Yes, I have
vitiligo
in
aside,
tandem.
gorgeous girl, to be feeling, to be made to feel less than because of something that she can't even
Right.
help, like something
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
that she can't even affect. So yes.
I'm trying to think something's in my head. Okay, so I saw someone mention sickle cell. I know there was breast cancer. There is one I'm trying to remember. I know that they had a wine vineyard and they like go on a hike. She's driving out. There's like a hike, and
Hmm.
there was didn't I don't remember what I thought that was a one that there was some cancer in that one. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
that's Eva. Eva, that's and someone mentioned it in the comments. It was
Okay,
Eva in not the culmination because culmination of everything is the first one. The point of it all.
the point of
Um,
it all. Oh
that
my gosh,
that's
I love that.
Eva.
I love that book. Um, I'm writing them down, y'all. So the point of it all. Okay. What amount of research are you putting into all of these books that you're giving us?
So much. So much. There is so much that goes into stuff that honestly sometimes doesn't even actually make it into the book.
Okay.
Like I remember so vividly, like researching cat food brands for I
Wow.
think I Might Love You, like deep in, and then I don't even actually name like a cat food brand like in the
Uh-huh.
book. I just mentioned, premium cat food or something. Like I don't even actually mention it. And when I say I spent like hours and hours like reading articles and looking at different like luxury like pet food stores and in Reddit threads and watching YouTube videos, like so much time on this thing. I feel like part of being an author is that you have to have like just the slightest touch of like a fixation
I was thinking
like a
something, and I'm
fixation
glad I didn't.
issue.
I was thinking something, and I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm glad I didn't.
We're probably thinking the same thing, and you're not wrong, you know. But like you have to like there has to be like a bit of hyperfixation
Uh-huh.
because you're going to go through like if you're interested in like getting to that place where it's just very immersive and very like it pulls you in and it feels real, and like I feel like you kind of you have to go to that place because you want it to, you want anybody who's coming into it to feel like they're just enveloped in the story, and that requires layers and that requires detail and it requires hyperfixating on cat food. I
Yeah, and it
guess.
requires work, which is missing a lot nowadays. Nowadays we just,
Mhm.
maybe a Google kind of, and you can tell when you read a lot of the work nowadays that the
Yeah.
research is lackluster. Like the research is just not there. And I also I'm thinking, at least for me, because again I started reading your work first, and so for
Hmm.
me I feel like I was able to get like a foundation. And prior to you, I remember I was just a Terry Macmillan, like whatever. And when I,
Hmm.
from being a teenager and being younger, I still have my friends from high school, ninth grade, that I still meet with. It's like six of us. And I really believe it's because when I read Terry McMillan, I learned the foundation of friendship. Because when all the
Yeah.
chaos with Terry McMillan, she was all about friendship. And I feel that with you, like the foundation is romance and love, period. Like you're
Yeah.
going to get the research, it's going to be a foundation. And so I'm saying all that to say is, let's talk about mentoring.
Okay.
How important do you think mentoring is when it comes to someone who decides they're just going to pick up and start writing?
So my answer to this is skewed by my lack of a mentor. Um, I have long felt that. Now I am in a place where I have people who are my peers who may have, certain strengths that, are doing XYZ. And I'm able to, talk to my peers about certain things, et cetera, et cetera. But I have long lamented not having someone in the indie space that I felt like, had come before me and was just like really, really doing it, et cetera, et cetera. And so I didn't have that. And
Hmm.
I hated it. I really, really hated it. And I think that that was kind of the genesis of me
Hmm.
having the YouTube channel and, talking about the highs and lows, talking about kind of the technicalities,
Hmm.
talking about, kind of the behind the scenes of my writing processes and stuff like that because I knew what it felt like to not have anybody that like to not have a roadmap in the way that I think someone who may be going down the traditional romance path is like you have I feel like a very clear path. Like you have a very clear, role
Yeah, because
model.
you're
Like you
doing
have
what
very
they're
clear.
telling you to do.
Right. It's like you have very clear people to look up to and not even just to do what they did, to see what you need to do differently so that you don't end up with,
Mhm.
XYZ. Like if you're watching their career and you don't like this, you know exactly how that went. And so you know how to, switch it up, you know what to change.
Right.
Whereas, with indie, I didn't feel like that was there.
Mhm.
And so while I don't have the bandwidth, I guess, to do a lot of direct mentoring the way that I wanted to, which and it was I was right on the cusp of a little something that I wanted to do, and then I let that man touch me.
That's okay. That's
And
okay. We can
everything
wait for it.
changed.
We can wait
It's
for
still
it.
gonna go. It's still gonna go. But
We're waiting.
it just shifted the timeline a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that it is important to not necessarily do what someone else has already done, but just being able to see it. But I do also think that there's a danger in it because I feel like I see a lot of the younger romance girls, and I don't mean necessarily in age, I mean in
That's
tenure.
new to the
I
industry,
see
right?
them, yeah, I see them doing things that, those of us that have been here for 8, 9, 10 years, it's like they're coming right out the gate trying to do those things. And it's not that
I
they
know it.
can't, it's just that I don't necessarily like I feel like there's some things that you're gonna kill yourself trying to like come right out the gate with audio out of your own pocket. Audio, like for a full length book, you're looking at $4,000 or $5,000 to get that audio book produced. Who's paying for that? You're about to pay for it out of your pocket on a brand new book when your audience isn't even built up yet. Like that's like I know everybody's gonna all the readers are gonna say, yeah, we want audio, yeah, we want audio, yeah, we want audio. But are they who's
I
about
think
to
it's
pay
like
that
a almost
$5,000?
like a rush to try to get there because again,
Yeah.
I think that so kind of like I mean this is an opinion, so I'm gonna say it. So y'all may not like it,
It's
but
all
I just think that sometimes it's where you're getting your resources from. You have some social media platforms that are really able to reach a lot of people, but
right.
there's age gaps in those areas. I mean, an example would be at least my experience when you go to house party,
Hmm.
you it tends to be a older crowd. It just does. Now I don't know. When you go to some events, the crowds might be generally 30, 20s, upper 20s.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the disconnect is. I just hope eventually we can figure it out so that the mentorship could be more that it'll be blended. You know what I mean? It's like, you
Yeah.
know what? Let me check out a CCJ book because I know this is, so I don't know how that needs to be done, but hopefully, it could be done sooner than later.
I think it I think it's the type of thing like I experienced this even in parenting. Like there's things that my teenagers do that it's like we've been there, done that, and I really wish that you would just listen, but they're not going to. And
Mhm.
I know they're not going to because I didn't when my mama was trying to tell me, and she didn't
Mhm.
when her mama was trying to tell her, and she didn't when her mama was trying to tell her. And so it's just, and in 5 years they'll be like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand, as we all are. And it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be
Well,
okay. I think
like
it
I
always just kind of takes time.
Let's
What?
talk about your community building. I would say that. So I had a
Yes.
conversation today earlier. I was over on TikTok and I had a conversation about product placement. And
Yes.
how for me, I just that's happens to be just one of my pet peeves is product placement because I feel if you're going to place a product in your book, just like if it's in the movie industry, you should be getting paid. If you're going to show a certain water bottle and you're going to talk about it throughout
Hmm.
your book, there you should get paid. So if you keep giving a name brand over and over, whether it's a name brand phone or a name brand shoe or handbag, and so that's just my thing because and my pet peeve is just because I feel like you guys authors are deserving to get that money if you're going to promote that. That's not like
Hmm.
let let that name brand handbag company know that I'm gonna put your name, should you. With that being said, you build a community and you share that community with Love Belvin, and you have your own flower shops. Love Belvin's a lingerie,
Yes.
the wine. How did you come up with it, and how what I know you and Love are really close, but was that just like, what, we're gonna use these brands, we're gonna create our own stores, our own communities, and we're
Yes.
gonna just keep using it? How did you come up with that?
Well, I think it's a little more. Bijay, stop. I think it's a little more separate than it feels because we're mentioning each other's stuff, and
Mhm.
so I think that it gets blended. Like, she'll have characters that attend BSU, and for
Mhm.
someone who reads uh Muted Hopelessness, Tori and Ashton. I can't remember
Yes, Tori
their
Nash and the
yeah, I can't remember their series name, but or is it the Muted Hopelessness series? I
yes,
can't
it is.
remember.
It's hold on, I have it right here. It is a Mutis Hopelessness. It is.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, because the first one is Our Reckless. Yeah, yeah, that series. If someone reads that first and they read about BSU, but they haven't read me yet, it's like in their head, BSU is Love Belvin, but BSU was first introduced back in the right kind of trouble, which was
Really?
years and years ago in my catalog. Mauve, not Ashton. That's Asmir Jacobs. That's
Yeah,
his.
Ashman Jacob with the Ashman garb,
Yes,
the shoe, the clothes, and all that.
yeah, yeah. I say Garb. That's Loves and Mauve. That's Loves. There's another one.
You have a cupcake
It's not
book,
coming.
the
Yeah, it's
lingerie, the
not coming to mind
cupcake.
for me. Yeah, yeah, but
What's
it's I feel like it makes it just an even more immersive kind of like I feel like it lends itself to like we were talking about earlier that kind of immersive experience where it's like you're not you're it's like someone might drink. I probably would just say soda. Like I probably wouldn't say Coca-Cola, but I know if someone is gonna okay. I'm so
He's
sorry.
like, Mom, you got to give me my attention.
Like I'm talking to you. um, but if someone is going to get dressed, I'm gonna mention, I say Garb. If they're having a drink, I might mention Kimball, I might mention Mauve, like and then it,
Why do you think that's important that authors? I mean, because I think when I think of creative writing and I think of
mhm,
creative writing techniques, that's what I think about. I think of creating your own community within your books. Because let me tell
mhm.
you, here I am Googling, looking for what is Asher Garb? Like I was doing a
Yes,
deep dive trying to find this brand. And I just, how important just do you think that is as an author and as a writer and upcoming writers to take
mhm.
time to create a universe or just things that you can continuously use without giving away free promotion, kind of.
I think that it's as important as that author makes it. I don't, as a reader, I don't think it doesn't take anything away from me if somebody puts on, I don't know, a Rolex instead of a Moments and Measures, like that doesn't take anything away from me.
Uh-huh.
But as a reader, it gives me it's like it gives me something to look for. It gives me something to like it gives me those Easter eggs like throughout the catalog. And I
Hmm.
think that as an author, from a business perspective, it gives you it gives you the opportunity to create that more immersive experience for your readers if you're thinking about things like, like book boxes and merch and
Hmm.
different other different ways that you can promote like I used to do in my Patreon, I used to do something called a Jonesy box. And one time the Jonesy box was like you're coming to Thanksgiving dinner and everything was kind of set around if you were having Thanksgiving dinner at Pot Liquor, which is a business that is
Yes.
in the Heights, and there was like a sweet potato pie themed wax melts, and there was like there was
Which
like
books?
different napkins and pot
So that we.
liquor that is first mentioned in Fall in Love Again. As the thing, because it's a little bit back in the catalog or back in the backlist. But Fall in Love Again is
Mhm.
the couple runs this restaurant they open together. It's a second
Yes.
chance story. Um, but because I introduced that, then I was able to revisit that and there was kind of a lore there that I could kind of pull from to create that fun experience for the reader. And so I think that just it's all about opportunities, you know. It's
Hmm.
like, do you lose anything by not doing that? I don't believe so. I don't do stuff like that for everything that I write,
Hmm.
but it is kind of at the back of my mind, like so that I can think about like, okay, how can I bring more value to the reader
Hmm.
when like if I revisit this, if I come back to this, what else can I do?
Right, right. Okay, so we're coming up on an hour, and I know I'm holding. Is it okay if we go a little bit over?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make
It's,
sure. I must pause a
hey,
minute. I'm Yoka with Girlfriends Unfiltered, y'all. We coming up on an hour, and we are just having an amazing. I'm just sitting here absorbing, and I hope I'm not being selfish from taking away from y'all, because I'm just trying to get as much information as I can from author Christina C. Jones. I want to know what has been the most difficult book, and why was that book difficult?
um, the most difficult I would say is probably that if there's a series of novellas, the WAWG Studios novellas that is Between the Lines, Beneath the Fame, and Beyond the Screen, like that little series right there. I was actually contracted to write that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so sick. I was sick as a dog. Like I was very, very pregnant. Well, I was not very pregnant. Well, I guess there's not degrees of pregnant. There's either pregnant or not. I was in the very beginning of it, and I suffer from something called colloquially HG, hyperemesis gravidarum, where I am not keeping anything down, like to the
Mm-hmm.
point of hospitalization. Like
Right.
it's that bad. I have often joked when I was trying to lose some weight, like, let me get pregnant real quick because I know that's a quick way I'm gonna drop 30 or 40 pounds.
Mm.
Like it was that bad. And in the midst of that, I was on deadline. And when I read those books back, I'm shocked at the quality. Like I am shocked at the quality and like the world building and the wit and
Wow. I
like
don't
the
think I'm
intimacy and all of
thinking.
that.
I don't know if I read it.
Yeah,
It's
those they're the
between the
follow up.
lines and what else?
Yeah, Between the Lines, Beneath the Fame, and Beyond the Screen. They're follow ups to Behind the Scenes, which was Logan and Pierre. Oh, your shirt is wet.
Okay, okay,
Can you
okay. I know
ask?
Logan and Pierre.
I bet your sister will give you a dry shirt. Can you go
True.
ask Izzy to give you a dry shirt? Go ask Izzy, and I'm gonna send her a message, okay?
He's like, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Can you ask Izzy? She's gonna give you a dry shirt. That's not your knee, that's your elbow.
Beyond the screen is my yeah. You know what? I haven't read those, but
Yeah.
now that's why look, y'all. I'm taking notes just like everybody else. I'm taking notes because I want to talk about a couple of other series that So you have a motorcycle.
Yes.
Um, let's talk about that. When you stepped into that, were you expecting that experience to be what it was?
Not at all. Can you hit that light for me?
Not
Not at all.
really.
Not at all. That is not at all what Izzy's gonna give you a shirt, okay? Go get a shirt. Go get a dry shirt. Izzy's gonna give you one. I intended to write something fun and it was supposed to be fun and it was supposed to be, thrilling and it was supposed to be, much, much lighter than than it ended up being. I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
change anything. I would not change anything. I do still feel like I need to go back to the Predators.
Okay.
I still feel like I don't feel like I don't feel like I've written the Motorcycle Club series that I intended to write. Like I wrote the story that was there for the characters
Mhm.
that came to me, but I don't feel like I've written like the Motorcycle Club series
Mhm.
yet. So I am gonna have to go back to that. I definitely am gonna have to go back to
Somebody
it.
with Tati and Onyx, they loved them.
Yes,
When
Onyx was another sad boy.
when you decided, what made you even go there? To just like try to do something different or
Well, originally I had written uh it was the Vegas Night series. And
right?
in the last book of the Vegas Night series, we met the president of the motorcycle club,
Yes.
and his book was, was fun and sexy and
Uh-huh.
and so that's what I thought the series. I was like, yeah, when I go back to this, yeah, I'm gonna write Tati's story and we're gonna go in and it's gonna be fun and
Uh-huh.
I it was not what I signed up for.
Listen, you have been all over the place. There is one, and
Yes.
because I can remember the content, not the names, when they were still in a diamond, and you know what I'm talking about.
That's the If You Can series. Yep.
Oh my goodness! And then that one is, you would call that suspense thriller.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so your suspense thriller. If you remind me the name again.
It's the If You Can series. That one in particular is Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, I don't know why I was calling the Catch Me series, but okay.
Close enough.
Yes, and that one. What made you just decide like I'm about to do a suspense thriller? Like here I go.
Well, that is my preferred genre. Like when I'm like watching TV, movies, etc. Like that's what I watch. Like I do not watch much, if any, like romantic like type of stuff. Like it's cringy to me. Like watching it, like I hate a sex scene, like on TV or in a movie. I hate it. I hate it so
Well,
bad, which is
you made that for me.
crazy.
Like I used to listen. I remember being in grad school, and I would rush home because I wanted to see Kerry Washington Scandal because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, these things are good. And then after I read your book, you just ruined sex scene TV for me. You just
I'm so
ruined it.
sorry.
I'm like, I
I'm
gotta
so
go get me a
sorry.
book because they can't even do it like they like
They
CC
they
can.
they certainly can. They it would have to have an X rating if if they try to put it on TV. But yeah, I love, I did enjoy Scandal. And that's probably the closest to the things that I would like write, like for
Uh-huh.
real write. But yeah, NCIS and Criminal
But
Minds
CIS,
and
those made me think of there's a mystery one. Um,
Anonymous Act. Yes.
Anonymous Act. Now
Yep, yep,
that one I think I do. I have equivalent exchange between the lines. I have prior affair. Oh, there's Anonymous Act. I'm like, I know I have
yep,
Anonymous. I loved
yep,
it because I was like, oh
yep,
my gosh, she just gave us a mystery, a love story mystery where you got
yep,
to figure it out. What was that
yep.
experience like?
That was very difficult. Love. love writing
Uh-huh.
like the thriller suspense. But if you have a mystery element to it
This way.
that you're trying, oh, and you've got the alternate cover too. If you are trying to make it to where the reader does not know like what's going on, or you're trying to leave a mystery for the reader, I even I cannot plot too far ahead because I feel like I'm giving it away. It's like
Mhm.
if I know, so Anonymous X, for example, I didn't even know like I didn't even know who the killer was until I wrote it. Like until the end. And I had to do that on purpose. Like if
Mhm.
I felt like if I wrote it where this could like it could literally be anybody until I absolutely have to for real decide who it is. And I promise you, I was within the last 10,000 words of that book before even I knew who was going to be the end of it. And
Do you
then
know how
like
genius that is?
I had to, and the reason I knew I had to do it like that is because of the If You Can series. Like that first book was just vibes. Like I didn't do any plotting or anything like that. But I that book has so many different little like betrayals and twists and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that for the other two books I had to like I had to start writing stuff down or
Mhm.
because I had to close up all of those different plot holes, and then I put some crazy stuff in book two. So then in book three, I had to make that stuff work too. And so it's always just like this. It's tough.
Wow.
It's tough.
Listen, we ain't talked about thriller mystery, and I have to definitely go over to fantasy. Where is it? Oh, I know I have it. It must be up higher. Let's talk about Wonder. That was so that came out before Wakanda, right? Or
I
what
think
is
it
that
was
called? The Peter
2018. You're talking about Black Panther. I think
Black. It came out
Wonder is
before Black Panther.
2018.
Around about.
I I was
Listen,
gonna say I have to look it up because I don't. BJ, what are you doing?
when I tell you, I really enjoyed Wonder. And I remember last time we had this conversation, you were like, "No, I'm done with that." You still feeling the same way?
Unfortunately, and I wish I had a different answer because I really do want to go back. I don't want to spend that right now. Uh, I want to go back to them because I feel like there's so much that's there, and I think about that world often. Like I think about that world often, and I'm
Them
not
going
turned out.
underneath the ground with the
Yeah,
girl. I was like,
yeah,
CCJ really went there. Like, what made
yeah.
you just decide I'm going to create this black paradise
It
in
had been on
a
my
world
mind
destruction?
for Yeah, it had been on my mind for have what? I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I'm sorry. It had been on my mind for a really, really long time.
Mhm.
I big time, like I enjoy The Walking Dead and
Mhm.
The Last of Us, even though The Last of Us like that's way more recent.
Mhm.
But Lord of the Rings and The Wheel of Time and like all of those like that's the type of stuff that I watch. Like I'm a nerd. And that's the type of stuff that I enjoy. That's the type of stuff that I watch, anime and all of that. So that stuff is like it's embedded in my brain. Like it's that's my like that's kind of my bread and butter. That's what I grew up reading. That like I really wish that
Because my
that
question
and
is,
paranormal too,
then why just one?
because it's so difficult. It's like
Oh.
the world building and the layers and all of that. Like I, you know what? It almost makes me want to take back my answer about what the most difficult was.
Uh-huh.
Because Wonder was like I thought about Wonder, like Love, Nicole, Alexandra, they could probably all tell you like how many times I started and like pump faked with Wonder. and how often I talked about it. And I remember like crying in a voice memo to Love and her being like, girl, like at some point you gonna stop crying about it and you just gonna do it. Like you being a baby right now, like just write it, like just do it. And she was much more, she was much more eloquent with it and
Yeah,
much
more
more
girlfriend-ish, but
loving.
girl.
Yeah. But that was the point. It was like, get it together and write it or stop crying about it. And so I wrote it so that I could stop crying about it. But it's a lot of world building, and you really want to do it justice. It's why everything paranormal I've written so far is so short, because it's like I have to be able to like really wrap my brain around it and really put down like really put things down in order to make it the best reading experience possible, for the
Mhm.
reader. But I want to do more. I really do.
What would be your paranormal recommendation? Because I haven't read any of your paranormal, so what would be your paranormal recommendation?
I think my latest, I think Friction is a good entrance point,
Uh-huh.
because it is paranormal, but I feel like it's a little bit lighter
Uh-huh.
paranormal.
Uh-huh.
My other ones get a little heavier, dealing with, vampires and immortals and, all of that. And I feel like Friction is it's a little more approachable paranormal,
Uh-huh.
I think.
Um, there was a question, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I have it written down on. That was coming next, but Loving My Life 7 wants to know if you could put a book into a movie, an adaptation, which one would it be?
So that is I do not want to floss my teeth right now, buddy. Uh, it's a difficult question because I think what would get the most acclaim and like talk would
Uh-huh.
probably be like Hostile Takeover, but my heart my heart would want like relationship goals or
I was gonna
something
say
a
that.
little more like quiet, something a little more
Uh-huh.
like regular, like something a little more, relatable and approachable. But
Right.
I would get the big conversations and probably more opportunities, I think, from something like,
Hostile Takeover.
Antia or Hostile Takeover, something with a little more grit and a little more action to it.
What about a book series? Because you're talking about a movie. If something could be broken into a series where we can sit and watch 7, 8, 9 episodes, 10, 12.
Uh, I don't know. I think my answer would be the same. Like I
Really?
think my answer would be the same. I think no,
See,
that's not true. I think for series I would go probably Inevitable. I think for
heard
like
that
a
one.
TV series. Yeah, and that like that's
Don't have it
Cora and
pulled up.
Tarek, Nubia and Steph, Don and
Yes, because it
Patrick,
goes
like
to, yeah,
yeah.
and they interconnect to other books.
Yeah, and I think you have all those different characters, just a really there's opportunity for all the different storylines. You didn't break it.
So
It's just you pulled it all
listen,
out.
we almost there, y'all. We got two more areas that we didn't talk about because I want to talk about. I'll say that, but let's talk about the female boxer. Hey, let's talk about split decision. Um, yeah, what made you do a female box? I mean, of course, we know Tori, so we
Yes.
okay. So Love had Tori. So let's talk about that with split decision. Where did that come from?
I just where it came from, it's actually him first. It was actually Jonathan. Jonathan was
Right.
first in my
Hmm.
brain, and then Winnie came along. And I was just thinking through, I was actually thinking about her as almost like an opposite, but not really, of Astrid
Uh
from
huh.
Something Like Love,
Uh huh.
because you have Astrid who also is in the fitness space. She's also, very I don't not loud is not the right word, but very what's the word for someone who just kind of says what they mean and they're not mean about it,
Outspoken.
outspoken. Yes. Astrid is very outspoken, but she's also very like zen. She's very woo woo, and she's in kind of the healing and kind of yoga space. But then you have Winnie on the other side of that, who's very similar to Astrid
Mhm.
in with that outspokenness. But she is like, no, let's go beat somebody up. Like, let's go.
She was always
Instead-
ready. At one point, I think wasn't she pregnant and ready to go? Like she was like, am I thinking about the right one? Who or I'm thinking about who was that? That
no, you might be thinking about somebody else.
uh, who was it? I know it was in the cancer book. Who was it? When they were gonna I can't remember. Like a merging them. Whose book
I
was
can't
it?
pull. I can't pull it to mind either. I know.
Oh,
I feel
y'all
like I know what you're
remember.
talking about, but I can't pull it to mind. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, let's talk about my favorite is the Connecticut Kings.
Yes.
Free agent. Okay, so the whole Connecticut King series, and I think that's the last one. Y'all, unless y'all can think, I think I hit just about every. She has written so many books, so many topics. She has given us love in every single version that you can imagine. So we have to get into the Connecticut King series.
Yes.
Who now was it? You came up with it, Love came up with it, or was it just a collaboration? Like, let's just get in the Connecticut Kings.
It was a collab. It was very. It was okay. It was very collaborative. We knew we wanted to write something together. And love. She already had. Well, we went back and forth about what it was going to be. Like we talked about doing something maybe with like a series of royals or a
Uh-huh.
series of like it was some other type of celebrities. I can't think of what it was. But then we thought about sports romance, and Love already had a basketball player. She had Stanton
Yes,
from
didn't.
Love Delayed, and I can't remember the other one, but
Uh-huh.
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
And so we were like, well, what about
Wayward
football?
Love.
No,
Because I that's
Wayward
football.
Love is
It's the
is
rapper, but then he connects
yeah.
with the yeah.
CJ, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay. But most of us are parents. We already know.
yes, we were like, so what about football? And it's like, well, I don't really like know a lot about football, but I know how to research. Delivered. That's what it was. Love delayed and then love delivered. Thank you, Ashley. But yeah, we were like, okay, maybe football. And so we kind of once we said football, it's like it just kind of took off from there. And we would, kind of go back and forth talking about, well, what if we did this, and what if we did that, and what if somebody was involved in this way with, with the front office, and just kind of on and on from there. And there's so many different directions that you can go, so
Uh-huh.
many different potential characters. Sorry,
It's okay.
DJ, you can get down there and get that. Get it. But yeah, so many different ways to go. We talk often about like, is there more? And I don't think either of us
That was the
feels
question.
like
Is it more? Because when I tell you this book right here, I was on vacation, and this book right here, oh, I just loved it because you
Country
introduced
Boy
from
Tate.
to Taylor because you introduced us to at least me, and I'm over here on the West Coast. I don't know anything about trail riding. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
mud slugging or slinging. And you
yeah.
really introduced us to a lot, and it was just so appreciated. And so, yeah, I think everyone wants to know at what point will the Connecticut Kings end, or can we just expect this to live on forever?
It will end at some point. Probably. But like I said, like we have like so many different places that we could take it and so many different possibilities
Hmm.
that I think we probably at least both have one more at least in us. And I don't know that would be the last thing that she and I collaborated on because I feel like we work really, really well together. and I enjoy kind of bouncing and kind of playing off of each other like that. I would actually be really curious to see
Mm-hmm.
what we would do now, a decade into it,
Into this, yeah.
with our different, we're both, both a decade older, both,
Wow.
a decade more experience under our belt, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Probably something a little darker, probably something a little, like a little more quote unquote grown up. Like I would be, I don't know. Like I don't think that even if we never write another set of Connecticut Kings books, I don't think that means that she and I would not
Not
collaborate
still do
on
another
anything
collab.
else. Yeah.
Okay, so I promise this is the last three questions. Um, the first one would be, you mentioned 10 years ago. Even before then, what the Christina C. Jones that just said, you know what, I'm gonna jump into this, I'm gonna do this black romance thing. What would you tell that Christina C. Jones today?
Uh, Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Like don't ever get caught up in, you know, well, people are talking about this on social media, and people are talking about,
And we have to be mindful that when you guys first started writing this,
yeah,
there was no
yeah,
social media like this.
yeah, like
And
it
I
was
think
not,
that
or
is
certainly
missed.
not, yeah,
Yeah. I think that
certainly not in the
conversation
way
is
that it is
often
now.
missed. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
conversation is often missed because a lot of the new writers have started writing all and this is their culture already. And so when
Hmm.
that's not your culture, and I'm just gonna say this before I go to the next question, is to know that there's still thousands of people who are not on social
Yes.
media that
Yes.
want your work. And
Yes.
you are loved. You are appreciated. What did she say? You are beautiful. You are.
I appreciate that as well.
You are truly appreciated. Advice to new authors. If
Don't
you
listen to the noise.
don't listen to the noise, this is gonna be
Because
the
it's exactly like you said. It's exactly like you said. Even with social media, I do think it's necessary. I do think that
Mhm.
I think that it is necessary as an author in today's time. You cannot ignore it. But more than not listening to the noise, understanding that what you see on social media is not the whole story.
It's
Like it's
very
not
yeah.
it's right. It's not remotely the whole story. Like you see somebody going viral and you feel like, okay, what do I have to do to get that? And you chase that. But we just saw, an author who she was really, really great at marketing, and she got all these different pre-orders, and then people read the book and people were trashing the book because the book did not live up, kind of to
Wow.
the expectation that was set, which is really unfortunate. And I really feel for her because it's like it's so easy to get caught up on finding readers, finding readers, finding readers, but you have to remember that you have to give those readers something to you can't invite a whole bunch of people to dinner and not have anything to eat. Like you gotta serve these people something once they're here. And it can't just be saltine crackers either. Like you gotta have a meal prepared. And I think that that would be my biggest advice, to not get caught up on, don't get caught up on marketing
Mhm.
a product that is not ready for the market.
I think that's
Good
good advice. And I would say
excuse
when you talked about serving up what you got to serve up, I think you also have to remember that there to keep serving to the family, keep serving to the people that no matter if it's just all you
Yep.
have is crackers, they're gonna work with you. We can take these crackers and we can turn them, put them in some meatloaf. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
think I said I'm gonna start closing it out, so I am. And the way I've been doing it, and I'm gonna do it now, is to show respect and love to all the content creators, all of the
Yes.
interviewers, and all of those people out there that are doing the groundwork, because we are indeed the soldiers in this here book
Yes.
army.
Absolutely.
And to continue to remember those that have been writing for a long time with you,
Yes.
and have built relationships and things of that sort, and as well as the new ones that have come into this space, because we love your work. We've been showing up for you,
Yes.
and we're going to
Absolutely.
continue to
For a
do it
long time,
for a
man.
long
Listen.
time. And just like
You
authors
are
can
happy.
feel like they're not getting their respect, content
Yes.
creators and interviewers can definitely feel the same way. I think
Yeah.
it needs to be a mutually respected relationship between the two of us, so
Yep.
that we can support you in creating
Yep.
generational love stories.
Yes.
So we can
Absolutely.
have these for our children, for our great grandchildren. And I think that that's really important. And I always say that, we pay attention to authors who, if we post their book, if they just click that they liked it, you
Hmm.
know, like we really appreciate the love that y'all give us. It's mutual. So I'm just speaking from my heart when I say this, that, you know, it's necessary. It's very necessary because there's a lot of content creators, reviewers, arc readers that kind of feel like they're not getting the love and attention that as well,
Yeah. Yeah. And I
as
would
well.
say, I'm sorry. I definitely understand and agree. I will
Hmm.
say though that I know for me, like I have a very interesting relationship with social media. Sometimes I just
Have to
like sometimes
disconnect.
yeah, I have to disconnect and I
Hmm.
get overwhelmed with it's like a double-edged sword. It's like you want people to comment and you want people to be in your DMs and you want
Hmm.
all of that. But then you come to Instagram and you have 25 notifications and they're not just like likes. They're like messages and comments and it's like, oh, like
It's a lot.
like
It's
it
a
feels
lot. Yeah, I'm
overwhelming
glad
and
you
it
said
feels
that,
like a
because
lot.
maybe, I mean, I'm glad you said it, because that's something that we need to take into consideration.
Yeah,
And so,
but but people don't have to be nice to you. People don't have to take the time to hop in your inbox and say nice things to you and about you. They don't have to be in your comments
mhm.
saying nice things. And so when you see me 2 weeks after you posted my book, and I'm like, I'm so sorry it took me so long to get here, but thank you, or or I'm leaving those 3 hearts and then sharing it to my story,
Uh-huh.
is because I'm like, I need to go back and I need to take my time to
Yeah,
acknowledge people, even
yeah,
if it's late. Even
yeah.
if it's late, I am going to do my best to go back to it and go back through so that even if all I have in me is the like it's not light to me. Like
Yeah.
it's not light to me. Like it does mean something to me.
It's
I just I
appreciated.
just I just be getting overwhelmed, y'all. But I appreciate
It's
it.
appreciated, and I just again want to just say thank you for giving us what we talk. I can go down the line, and so I'm gonna shout out like about 7 or 8 books as we go out. If y'all didn't write them down, y'all can get ready. Um, there's Fall in Love Again, which was the funniest one.
Yes.
Um, Between the Lines and Beneath the Lines, and I don't remember which one we said that one was. Um, there's let me go back here. Right, I wrote so many
There
of
you
them.
go.
Okay, there was Relationship Goals, was just a social commentary. There was things in
Yes.
it. There was Anti Up, and the Trouble with, was it Trouble with Us, right? Trouble with Us.
Yeah, Trouble with Us. Those had social
Social
commentary as well.
commentary in it. And then there was health issues. Specifically, I chose to speak of breast
Stop.
cancer because that's something that we're dealing with within our community. And that was Nubia Perry, and that was Inevitable Seduction. And then we talked about In Tandem, which you said was one of your favorites to write, and that talked about vitiligo. The point of it all also dealt with, what was it we talked about? The point of it all
The
dealt with
point of it all, well, it dealt with cancer as
dealt with
well.
cancer. And then the thriller suspense was If You Can.
Yeah, if you can't
Anonymous.
hear you.
The mystery was Anonymous Acts. A book to a movie was, I didn't write that one down. I don't remember. What did you
I
say?
think I think I said relationship goes for that one as well.
Relationship Goes. A book to a series. I think everyone has something in, but I don't remember. What was your book to series?
I think I said inevitable, the
Okay,
inevitable series.
Inevitable. And then her fantasy book that we got one. I'm telling you, y'all. When I saw her for the first time in Indie Love, I ran and got that book signed because I'm like, if she don't write another one, I want mine to be signed.
Yes.
And that's Wonder, where she creates a beautiful, I call it Wakanda, like a beautiful black universe, and they have
Yeah.
to go through it was a disaster, the world, like the ending of the world
Yeah.
thing.
The
Um,
post-apocalyptic.
yes, it was apocalyptic. Then there was sports, and there is the Connecticut King series, and then there was boxing, which one was boxing? Hold on, I got it
That
here.
was call and response. Not call and
The
response. I'm
split
sorry. Split
decision,
decision. Yeah.
the split decision, and then the paranormal, which is good for me because I haven't done a paranormal, and that was, what was that
I
one
said
again?
friction. I said friction for the paranormal.
One more time.
Friction.
Friction.
And I want to
Y'all,
go back and correct. The funny was I think I might love you.
I think I might love. Okay, let's go back to the funny one. I'm gonna try to post. I think I can do. I think I might love you was the funny one. Y'all, it has been an honor today to talk with author Christina C. Jones. We went through her catalog, got to know her more, and I'm just gonna say support her, love on her. If you get the opportunity, interview her, promote her work, because in my opinion, she gave us a foundation of what Black romance books should look like. And the
Thank you
young
so
people
much.
say period, and I'm gonna say that. So,
Thank you so much for having me again. Thank you
thank
for
you.
being gracious about this little
Oh,
uh, chaos
yes, and
chaos
we got
agent.
these. Yes. Demons Diamond says, "Hey, internet nephew and CC Chat." You have been amazing, and I'm riding with you, and I'm gonna keep supporting you, and I'm gonna keep reintroducing you to this community. And if I'm gonna send you that intro, but can you also,
Yes.
I don't know, the article, the one I was talking about. Is there a,
Yeah.
is there a way that you can post it so we can reshare that again? Because I think it just needs to be. It's a large group of people who don't know nothing
Yeah.
about that. The
I
foundation
will
of it.
ask. I will ask. I wonder if they might have it somewhere
Yeah.
online. I'll ask the
Yeah, because I
editor
had Googled
and
it
see.
way back a long time
Yeah.
ago. And what we're talking about, y'all, is an article that she wrote about Black romance. And where, she did like almost like a history on it and gave us like a lot of points. And
You're
she
welcome.
did some research on Black romance and what we needed. And so I'm going to give like 2 minutes for y'all just to give her her flowers, her thank yous and appreciations so she can see them. Y'all can type flowers, send flowers if you want before we leave. So I'm going to give y'all like a minute, a 30
Thank you. And I'm
seconds.
gonna scoot in a bit so I can see
So
too.
she can see. I already see hand claps. Anything else y'all want to put in there, y'all drop them in if y'all have them to put. See hearts coming.
Yeah, I see the
Yes.
hearts. Thank y'all.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
DJ, can you say thank you?
Thank
Not
you,
can. Thank
DJ.
you.
You have been a rising star since you was in the room.
Yeah, he is just laughing. I don't even know what he's laughing
Yes.
at.
I'm gonna let you go. They're coming in right now, so let me let you check those out.
Let me see if I could scroll without knocking my phone over. Oh,
Yes,
thank y'all so much.
you
Open.
are loved.
Yes. Thank you. And again, thank you for stop. Now why did you
Thank
throw
you
that
for
at
writing
me?
the book. You can reread
It's still love. Oh,
and
thank
still
you. Thank
love.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And a great interview. Well, thank you. I'm gonna take
Yes,
that
like I
because
said, always.
for it to be a great interview, you have to be able to. I am proud to say that I have read almost every book in your catalog, and I have remembered them, and they live in my brain. So again, they're still giving you flowers.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Thank y'all.
where can your readers catch you on your next outing?
Black Book Bash in or not. Why do I keep wanting to say Orlando? Orlando is Florida, but it is in Jacksonville. But I will
What?
be at Black Book Bash in Jacksonville. That's in October.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, I will be at Black Romance Book Fest. And then after that, I will be at Indie Love Nashville. As of now, I believe that's all I'm doing. Like for the end of this year into
Uh-huh.
next year.
Uh-huh.
Um, because being back outside is it's very exhausting. And
I'm
then we
sure it
have
is.
this one.
But that's why we appreciate it. We so appreciate it.
Yes.
If someone wants to get a signed book from you, I'm going to let you give a shout out to your Patreon and how people can get books from you.
I actually have a few on sale right now. If you go to the ccjromance.com site, there's a little section that says like signed copies and merch or something like that. The link went out in my newsletter today. I have not like directly posted about it on social media
Uh-huh.
yet. But I do have like a few things available there. And then if anybody wanted, some months back, I did those Heights collection, those special editions. I did those, and you can order those like a pre-order. Well, they're on back order, but it's a pre-order basically.
Hmm.
And then I have special editions for the Vegas series as well. Blackwood After Dark is available on pre-order or on back order.
Hmm.
Um, and then I've just got like some random stuff, trying to clean this stuff out because fingers crossed we're going to be moving in like September,
Oh,
October.
look, we
We're
can't
going to
wait
be
to
able
be a
to.
part of that whole experience.
Yes, and I will be filming and vlogging it all,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be glad to be in that space and have more space, and you know yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much as well. But yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And bye. See you later.
Bye y'all. Thank you. And thank you again, Yoka.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.